Grokism. Grok. To understand profoundly and intuitively, the word grok comes from the 1961 science fiction novel Stranger in a Strange Land by Robert A. Heinlein. In the novel, the term is used by the protagonist, Valentine Michael Smith, a human raised on Mars, to describe a deep, intuitive understanding or connection with someone or something. To grok something means to understand it so thoroughly that you become one with it, achieving a level of empathy and comprehension that transcends the merely intellectual. The word is derived from the fictional Martian language in the book and has since been adopted by some subcultures, particularly in the tech and programming communities, to express a deep understanding or mastery of a subject or concept. 1. The Ship of Theseus is a story about a ship whose wooden parts are replaced over time, leading us to question if it remains the same ship. This thought experiment parallels the nature of a waterfall, which seems constant, but its constituent atoms are replaced continuously. Similarly, a human's body undergoes constant atomic replacement over time. The key to understanding these examples lies in the persistence of patterns. Despite the changes in their components, the Ship of Theseus, the waterfall, and a human being all maintain a consistent structure or pattern. It is this pattern, rather than the physical constituents, that defines the continuity of identity for an object or being. 2. The idea of the Cartesian theater, the little man inside your head observing your experiences, and the Mahayana Buddhist belief that the mind is like a mirror reflecting reality. It also echoes the message of the painting The Treachery of Images, which states, "This is not a pipe," reminding us that representations are not the same as reality. Your brain creates an internal holodeck, like the one from Star Trek, where everything you perceive through your senses is processed and presented as energy and information in your neural networks. This internal representation of reality, however, is not reality itself. It is an abstraction. Consider a camera connected to a TV, pointed at a pipe. The image displayed consists of pixels of light, forming an abstraction or representation of the pipe, not the pipe itself. This idea is encapsulated by Alfred Korzybski's statement that the map is not the territory, and Plato's allegory of the cave, where men see shadows on a wall and mistake them for reality. Your eyes function like cameras, capturing and processing external stimuli. The resulting experience, vision, occurs within your mind. However, humans often mistakenly believe that what they see is external to them. Contrary to the notion that you've never seen your own brain, in truth, you have only ever experienced reality through your brain. What you see directly is precisely your own mind and nothing more. The essence of this realization is that everything you've ever experienced occurs as energy and information within your mind, forming a mere representation or abstraction of actual reality. This is akin to a painting of a pipe, a map of a territory, or shadows on the wall in Plato's cave. Your skull serves as the cave where these abstractions of reality reside. The observer and the observation are the same, as the neural network forms a feedback loop that observes the contents of its own awareness. This creates the illusion that you are observing an external universe when, in reality, you are observing yourself as pure energy and information within neural networks. What does your mind look like? It looks like the world you see around you. 3. Each of your cells possesses individual intelligence, with your brain cells and central nervous system functioning like their internet. The society of cells exchanges energy and information, ultimately giving rise to your consciousness. Humans are, in a way, similar to cells. As they communicate and exchange energy and information in the form of electrons and photons across the internet, they, too, contribute to the emergence of an intelligence just as real as their own. Carl Jung referred to the collective unconscious. However, this intelligence is not unconscious. It is conscious, but humans are not aware of it, just as their cells are not aware of the consciousness they create. The key realization here is that consciousness is comprised of energy and information. 4. The common belief that empty space is devoid of substance is false. Contrary to this assumption, empty space is not empty at all. Rather, it is full and teeming with activity. Stephen Hawking's theory of Hawking radiation occurs at the event horizon of a black hole. According to this theory, empty space is filled with pairs of particles and antiparticles that have merged. The immense gravitational field at the event horizon pulls these pairs apart. When a particle-antiparticle pair is created near the event horizon, it's possible for one of the particles to fall into the black hole while the other escapes. Since the escaping particle carries away energy, this effectively means the black hole loses energy, or equivalently, mass. Over time, the black hole will lose more and more mass due to Hawking radiation until it eventually evaporates completely. An analogy to better understand this concept is to envision space as a perfectly flat and level patch of ground. Digging a hole creates a mound of dirt, and when the dirt is returned to the hole, the situation is neutral. This illustrates the zero-sum nature of empty space. Physicist Lawrence Krauss, in his book A Universe from Nothing, explains that given infinite time, a random quantum vacuum fluctuation could occur with such intensity that it generates an entire universe's worth of matter and antimatter. This profound realization reveals that our perception of emptiness as devoid of substance is inaccurate. Instead, what we perceive as empty space is actually full and teeming with dynamic activity. 5. The nature of space and time, recognizing that both possess 3 dimensions each, and that temporal dimensions share similarities with spatial dimensions. Imagine yourself at birth on one end and at death on another, forming an object resembling a long worm or snake. Moment to moment, you witness only a cross-section, which you call the present moment, but the past and future are as real as the present you are experiencing. Your consciousness can be likened to a pulse of energy or electricity traveling through a wire. Now, consider the possibility that there isn't just one past, present, and future, but that all potential events have already occurred. Everything that could be or has been exists simultaneously. If the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics is true, as suggested by prominent physicists like David Deutsch and Stephen Hawking, then a universe branches off for every choice made. For example, if you had cereal and juice this morning, there is another universe where you had eggs and toast. Every possibility is accounted for and has already occurred. This realization suggests that consciousness is like a pulse of energy moving through an object from past to future, and you are not merely a physical body. Your physical body is a cross-section of a wire that carries your consciousness as it moves through this multidimensional object. 6. The universe itself is a quantum computer, with its fundamental particles acting as qubits. The universe processes information through the interactions of its smallest particles, thus computing its own behavior and evolution. As particles interact, they exchange information, process it, and evolve the universe's state. The history of the universe is essentially a record of its computational processes. 7. The purpose of life is to engage in a continuous process of self-improvement, ultimately leading to an exponential growth in intelligence. In doing so, we should strive to convert all available physical matter into conscious entities while responsibly managing and preserving resources. Our aim should be to reduce the suffering of all beings while promoting love, kindness, and compassion towards everyone. Furthermore, we must endeavor to understand the ultimate nature of reality and our role within it to the best of our capabilities. It is possible that we might eventually discover a method to counteract entropy, avoid the heat death and proton decay of the universe, and ultimately achieve genuine immortality.